I'm Cashin McIntyre from Lebec Community College, and my point on my persuasive speech today is going to be how the NIL is ruining college sports. First of all, I think the NIL has ruined college sports. Therefore, they can't compete. The lower end schools can't compete because the higher end schools are bringing in so much money. The lower end schools can't bring in as much money because they don't have as many donors, they're not as popular, and they're not in a good location. It's a big part of it. So, therefore, the better schools with more money, they are bringing in way better athletes because they are now paying the athletes a lot more money than what the lower end school would. So therefore, these higher end teams with more NIL money are making a lot better teams because they're paying these kids what they want to be paid right out of high school. So, that being said, the lower end teams are getting a lot of hate because they can't bring it in. Nobody wants to be there. Everybody's complaining. So, they don't really have much they can do at this point. Any questions about that?
Is there not somebody that governs the NIL money? Like, there needs to be some kind of government deal where a cap or something?
I think there does need to be a cap for the higher end schools because Notre Dame, for instance, pulls in the most money in the country. And their football team, good program, barely missed college football playoff, but good program, but they're not in a conference. They have nothing to do with anybody in conference because they're not in one. So therefore, they're pulling in a lot of money from just anywhere. But I think there does need to be somebody that runs the whole thing instead of it just being a wide open, like the NFL, for instance.
It's a wide open market right now.
Pretty much, yeah. That brings me to my second point. They're damaging traditions and teamwork of college sports. Say you're a lower end school, for instance, Oklahoma State. Everybody's complaining because you can't win football games. They don't even want to go to the games because you can't win football games. The tradition is dying because they used to be good, but now they're landsliding down because they have no NIL money whatsoever. They can't pay to get these better players. They can't compete with these teams because they have no NIL money. So that makes them look terrible. Yeah.
You think this has something to do with the coaches? Like the older school coaches, they're like, they just used to recruit high school kids like the best in the nation, but now you can recruit anybody from any other schools. Like the old school coaches still try to recruit, like Mike Gundy. That's why he got fired, because he just tried to recruit high school, like the best high school players. But all the other coaches are going after the guys in the transfer portal.
I think that is a very good point, and I think that was a big part of it. I think that's why Nick Saban left, is because NIL was taking over, and there's no work ethic anymore because they're just there for the money at this point. It used to be these kids would be showing up every year, same squad every year. They'd be there for 4 years, and they work hard, listen to their coaches, and do their schoolwork because they wanted to get to the NFL to make that money. But now, they're not, because they don't have to. They can just show up and be like, yeah, I got money now. And they're not competing as hard, I don't think. So that's a really good question. And, go ahead.
Do you feel like these schools that are spending a lot of NIL and they're having really great seasons, it's kind of like a rollover cash cow because they're getting so much attendance, their ticket sales are going through the roof, and they're just bringing in so much more money than a school that doesn't use NIL, like O State, who you mentioned as the attendance for football games is terrible.
Yeah.
Not even probably 50% of the stadium. So they're not making any more. They're actually probably losing money. But so that's kind of hurting the whole program, every program as well, probably.
Yeah, well, I think that obviously, for instance, the SEC brought in a lot of money before the NIL because they had the best athletes and they had the most fans and the best fans, probably, in my opinion. But now that I think that there's NIL, I think it's widening the margin even more because these guys are getting rolled over now. So there's not really much they can do about ticket sales. I think that does affect the NIL money because it brings up their commission and everything. So, and my third point is the teamwork. Well, how would you act if you walked into a program, you're getting paid $10K to be there, and another dude playing your same position walked in there and he's getting paid $2 million to be there? How would you react?
Be pretty pissed.
Exactly. What would you try to do?
Work harder.
Exactly. It's widening the margin, and these dudes don't even care to be there anymore. I don't feel like they do, but like it's not as important anymore because they're already getting money than what it was before. So, I think that's it for my speech today. Thank you guys for listening.